So I discovered the formula behind becoming an entrepreneur. First, you must look at what does an entrepreneur do, the basic elements, build and sell. You look at everything around you that has value. Everything around you, someone built it and they sold it. Rather it's software, rather it's housing, rather it's trains, cars, whatever it is, build and sell. That's the name of the game. Then I looked back at what were those ingredients that led to me figuring out what I'm doing now. So in my history, I started off as a salesman. My first step was I learned how to sell. I started as a real estate agent at 16 years old. I was an assistant and I worked my way up there. So that's learning how to sell. Somewhere along my real estate career, I took a coding bootcamp. I learned how to build. You need to think about what is the landscape of which building is done today. And what's the easiest way to build? It's software. You can build with no cost. You can code for free. And you don't necessarily have to know how to code. I don't know the last time I actually coded. The education was essential though towards understanding how things work in software terms, just to have an understanding of how things work like that. I don't actually code. I don't even enjoy coding. I don't enjoy putting things together like that. I enjoy the conception though. It taught me how to conceive an idea in software terms and explain it and work with people who are more skilled at that. I'm more skilled in the business aspect because my main history is selling. Later throughout my career, I started working for different people. You need to look at what other people have built and observe how those things work. You need to get experience. Things like college and all of that, I'm putting that aside. I'm looking at it in a general sense. It doesn't matter what the time of education is. Education has changed throughout history. The education for an entrepreneur isn't going to look the same as the education to get a job. It's not going to look the same. It's going to be something totally different because it's a creative field. You cannot teach creativity, but there is a formula on how ideas happen. The ingredients behind that. You must learn how to sell and observe the things that other people built. So I must have worked for 4 different real estate companies / persons in 1 year. There was this moment where me and this organization that I worked for like 3 to 4 years, I was selling shopping centers and leasing them out for them off market. We departed. My career was in a weird place. I started working for all these different kinds of people and I observed their systems, how they're making the money. This is something that you can observe, especially if you're in a sales field. What kind of technology are they using? You learn how is that technology being used, how is it built, how are they implementing it. This is observing the building aspect, and you learn how to sell. You do something in a sales environment and you learn the aspects of selling. How do they actually make the money with what they built? These are essentially the 2 ingredients. It could be any field. You need to figure out what is your field of interest, what is the field that you do best in, where do you want to do business. For me, that's real estate, and I chose a niche sector of real estate, shopping centers. Who the heck is focused on shopping centers? Who? Every real estate agent you think of, residential or commercial, but shopping centers is so specific that it's lucrative. For some people, it's operating in self-storage. It's all these different fields. You need to figure out what that field of interest is. I could give you examples. If it's medicine, where are they making the medicine? How do they make the medicine? And how do they sell it to the consumer? If it's engineering, for example, building houses, where are they building the houses? How does a contractor put together the resources? Where does he make the profit? You need to learn these things. And then how does he sell the house? Where is he selling the houses? Where is that profitable area? And what are places that are not being explored? Like for me, it was shopping centers. That's an area that's not being fully explored. The potential of shopping centers. There's not a lot of real estate agents that specialize in shopping centers. It can really be any industry. Teaching. Where are teachers making the most money? What are they teaching about? How can you take that and maybe go on the internet with it? There's many different ways, but building and selling is the main principles of an entrepreneur and what he does. Throughout your career and experience, you just need to keep those 2 things in mind. Acquaint yourself with the sales environment. Many people, in terms of like salary jobs, They don't have any experience in the sales environment. They're just a part of the system. Few people actually go into the sales aspect of it because many times the sales aspect is commission-based. And if you're new, you might not make a lot of money, or you might not have the money to afford doing something on a commission basis. So these are factors that deter a lot of people away from selling. Most of the entrepreneurs are born in the sales environment. That's where most of them come out of, because selling is how you actually get the money. You build something, but then to actually get the money, you have to sell it. So you need to learn the process of selling, what people want, and how you can sell something that's better. You need experience in both places, how to build and how to sell, and that's the basic formula to an entrepreneur. There's not much formal education that'll teach you those two aspects. I did go into business administration. I finished one class, Business 110, Introduction to Business. That didn't actually give me the experience needed. It just gave me a little insight as to like the history of innovation and how corporations are structured, how to go into business. It doesn't actually give you the substance. It just gives you the structure. What you need is the input, the substance, the content, the ingredients. You put those ingredients together. That's where creative ability comes into play. That's something that cannot be taught. If you give someone with an open mind enough ingredients, they can figure out how to put those ingredients together into something that's better, that's competitive against what already exists. Innovation will always continue to move forward. It's not all figured out. This economic picture is constantly progressing. Constantly. It's not like it's over. It's going to keep moving forward. You need to observe what's out there. You need to get your feet wet. Go into a sales environment, even if it's just for a couple months. Learn their process. Learn what they're using. Put these ingredients together from different places. You draw this knowledge. Put it together and create a product that's better. That's the part right there that no one can actually teach. That part right there, how you put it together, is up to you. Everyone's experience and field is going to be different. But that's the part right there where entrepreneurship happens. The moment you put those things together, you look at your resources, you network with people, you put a team together, you form a company, you put together a business plan, you figure out how you're going to structure this. Because obviously compensation is important. Everyone is profit driven. So if you can put together a business plan and show how this can be profitable and how everyone can be equitably rewarded in this plan, you can put a team together, start a company, and move a project forward. I'm doing this right now. We're in the middle of it. I'm not telling you this after it happened. I'm telling you this while I'm doing it. I'm literally working with a developer that I partnered with, and then I'm looking at agents that I'm going to bring in to use the system. And what do I have to do to convince them? Why should they use my technology to make money, in turn me getting a piece of the profit? Why? I need to explain to them why it's better, why what we're producing is better. I need to convince them to use it. That's something that you could learn psychology, you could study marketing. That's something that's on you, that you get from experience and that you get from your passion. Understanding why you're doing what you're doing, what's the value of what you're building. And that's the selling aspect, convincing people to use the product. Right now, in terms of my own venture in real estate sales technology, we are in the building phase. In 2 to 3 months, we're going to be in the selling phase. When the product is complete, we're going to be focusing on how to move this product, how to get, the product is a service, how to get the clients, which are agents, to use the service. I'm literally going to be calling agents and trying to convince them that this is a better way to do real estate. So that's on me, figuring out how to sell this product once it's built. So 2 steps, build and sell. Build and sell. That is the process. That is the formula to becoming an entrepreneur. The most essential aspect though is that you get the ingredients, and that comes from experience, right? That's where you're going to get the ingredients necessary. No one online is going to teach you those ingredients. That's just you exploring different systems, learning how they're built, building something better, and then selling it. And that's the process. My name's Vasily. Thank you for watching.